Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of Nature and Entertainment on TVRC. My name is Oyedo Pwaido Samuel. You know, there is this old saying of the cliche that says, always dress as if you meet your worst enemy on your way out. So get up and dress and make sure that nothing is missing. And we all know this old adage also that says, the way you dress is the way you'll be addressed. And this is what we take mean to the topic this morning. The way you dress is an expression of your personality. But before I go on, I'm here with my beautiful co-presenter here. She's always beautiful. So, what's the name? Just tell me.
Yes, viewers, my name is Felicia Chinyere Iberi, as you usually know me to be.
So today is something more or less than we are into fashions today. So we want to go into dress and things you should and personality. Your dress and personality, there are two words there, two key words. How it correlates to each other and how it helps each other. So what does it brings about you? What does it speaks about you? That you want to look at today. So Feli. So how does choice of your clothes, like you want to dress, you want to go out right now, that okay, you know, it's something like when you wake up in the morning, okay, I have an appointment today. You first of all think, what am I going to wear? Okay, how do I want to look? That is what will come straight into your mind. That how do I want to look? How presentable do I want to be? How do I want them to look at me? Even seeing me from afar, what should be their thoughts? So, in making this kind of choice, so let's come to clothes. What does it reflect in your personalities?
Okay, you know, the family have to talk about personality, because what's even our personality? For me, I just know just four basic personality traits, which is the sanguine, we know the choleric, and then we know the melancholic, and then the phlegmatic. All of those personality traits are imbued it's actually in every human being, and it's part of our lifestyle.
Yes.
And you know, this personality itself have its own way how it affects or reflects our choices of dressing or wears. Now you know, a lot of persons have their own style or uniqueness in how they want to look, how they want to present themselves out there. So now it's more of how the individual is, or the type of traits the person portray. Some persons are sanguine, and then some sanguine will love to kind of wear clothes that are very comfortable with them. You know,
I have people that they want to wear clothes that is very that they'll be free.
They'll be free,
They'll be free inside it.
Like sanguine. To me, I know sanguine, so I'll just pick each of them. A sanguine person will want to wear clothes they're actually very comfortable for him or her. And then, like some of this, we have different type of clothes. You understand? Because you know there are two things here we are talking about: choice of clothes and then personality.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to the personality, I just stated four, and then one of them is sanguine. Then it comes to the clothing, type of clothes that is sanguine love to wear. Are clothes that are very fitted or very easygoing. Like the person can be very, because a sanguine person, the person who wants to be very free, who wants to be very sociable with people, who wants to really meet up with people, and then you know that jabbering type.
That wants you to be like maybe when you're going something, nothing will restrict you from.
So they always want to be full free, and the clothing type of clothing that they will always want to go for are clothes that are like all these tight fitted clothes,
body fitted,
just like what I'm putting on. Don't ask me, I don't understand. So, and aside that, you know, those who are choleric to an extent, they always want to look formal. And most of this dressing that connects to clothing that connects to people who are choleric are more of the suits. Those wear suits a lot, and then wear shirts a lot, and they want to look very formal. You know, and it can be a choleric, but so and then for those who are melancholic too, we want to moderate to two. Then in between the sanguine and then the choleric, because we also know the sanguine and the phlegmatic too, because they're always very mindful of what they wear. How will people see me out there, you know, and notwithstanding, they always want to wear clothes that are also free with them, but not too tight like that of the sanguine. A clothes who is actually feel like you have this there's this clothes, one of these styles of clothes, like this bubu gown.
Yeah,
you understand? Yes. It's very well cultured, well styled. So and then that's for the phlegmatic. There are some ones we see them as well, this mommy Gio, the SU that want to cover up everything, because why? It talks more on the religion, their background, you understand? So they want to project that in their dressing. So it's part of this personality traits that affects them and reflects in the type of choices of clothes that we put on.
Yeah, you said this, that's just it. Okay, let me ask you a question. You know, before you dash out in the morning, you want to put on a cloth. You know, what are the choices? What affects? I want us to go into the thing that affects, the criteria that affect our choice in clothing. As I want to go out this morning, like this morning when I woke up, I just feel like I just want to put on shirts.
Okay.
I just want to put on that, and I don't want to put any suit on it. I just want to be free like this. See, now, what affects our choice in clothing?
Yes, one of those things that affect our choices in clothing is consider the age. One, is a factor. The weather, and then another one talks about the what do you call it now? The vocational level, and then income too talks about it too.
Yes.
So you know that when I say exactly. Now if somebody who wakes up early in the morning and says, okay, fine, the weather is so cold, you understand? You know, we have to be mindful of the weather and type of clothes he or she is deciding to put on that day. So it still tells more.
For example, I just want to chip in this example.
Okay.
For this like these Okada riders, like when like this range is now, you see them putting on this kind of nylon. These are cellophane clothes.
That doesn't cover up, because
yes.
if you check them very well, they cannot just say, okay, fine, it's raining and then they want to just put on nylon. They would have put on something like thicker, because you know the pace at which the distance at which they cover, it's on a high pace. So the weather itself has a way it affects their health. So these are the things. The age aspect is also more like someone who's putting on something was for a person like a child of 16 wanting to put on a cloth of somebody who is 8 years, you know, wants to look very skimpy, you know. These are the factors that affects the choice of clothing. So when I started the vocation, as I said, vocation in the sense that, you know, you cannot say a Muslim, for example, or a Christian rather, or
you can't be a Christian. You put on hijab.
Exactly.
Yes, you can't put on
you can't put on
hijab.
Exactly. So, and then you are a Muslim. You have to put on something that will cover up your body, and then you want to just look open, like they call it funky alajas. So we have a lot of funky alajas out there. You say, yeah, I don't want to wear the whole covered up and to cover up my whole body. So you know, and then a pastor, you can't expect this pastor to dress crazy in the church and preaching to the congregation. Exactly. So it's also talking more about your income. You know, a lot of persons will look at it, okay, fine, how much am I earning? And this really pay off whatever I really want to put on my body, and it doesn't really go far to wanting, is it going to affect my income? Yeah. So they have to look at it in that way. Those are the factors that influence affects the choices of clothing. So
okay, what about culture?
Yes, also thank you very much. Culture as well. So you know, our tradition speaks volume to our choices of clothing, because you know, when it comes to the African culture, we have the Igbo culture, we have the Yoruba culture, we have the Hausas, and those are the major tribes in Nigeria. And you know, the Hausas, they are known for whatever they wear, like this clothes they wear, the little part of the body shows. It's cultural, because it upheld the culture of that tribe. And as well, if you look at the traditional setting, it's more before the.
You know, I so much love this the traditional settings way more than being casual.
Don't get too carried away. The traditional setting was because of that. They made use of what was available for them. And you know, they were so cultured in the sense that this is how we dress. So
it has become a norm.
It's so unique to their own way of dressing. So, but because nowadays now people will say, okay, now that's old tradition, that's old tradition, old fashion. We don't want to continue with it. So they want to bring in the modern style of dressing, which to a large extent is really going off balance. So these are factors that reflect or affect our choices of clothing.
And another one is occasions, these functions of
occasions.
When this whole one based on there's a dress.
There's a lot of persons who see like, okay, fine, they want to this style of dress, and I want to go this. I want this off shoulder because of the style. The slay queen, as they call them, who want to show off their body because it's a party or whatever event. So they want to be known. They want to really show off, like, this is what I got. To show off their physique. So occasions most times has a way it affects our choice of clothing. Is it the church? Are you going to the church? Must you put on a party wear to the church? It's uncalled for. And then you're going to the party and you're wearing the church clothes. It's two things. They're actually contradicting each other. Every of our dressings, or it has a way. I mean, they have a proper way at which we place all of these things in a very good position.
Sorry to cut you short. Back in the days when we were in school, all this student life that when you don't have food at home, you don't have money, and you see this kind of occasions or functions, maybe for wedding ceremony and stuff. You just like, if you have, this common cloth, Ankara, just like that wedding. All they put on is Ankara. The Ankara will just say, you don't wear Ankara, you don't eat.
Yeah, because it's occasional. Because
so we student then, if you don't have this kind of Ankara stuff, but we don't have fabrics, we just be like, so I can't go there because if you are in their corporate, you see yourself
from
being different. Like maybe you're from another world.
Exactly. They really get to notice you
that you are not. So then you just go, okay, it's Ankara they put on. Even if you have this cap, you put it on, and then you feel among, and you serve it.
Our dressing actually tells more on our choices of clothing, like our choices of clothing. Tells more on the way we appear, because occasionally if you have people who don't know how to place their right senses of, okay, this is how I'm to dress for this occasion at this particular time. In fact, everybody should at least understand the fact that this dressing is meant for this occasion, this one's meant for this occasion.
And another good example is this, why they just want in school, like, okay, this week is for cultural week, that people will put on their culture, your cultural attire, and when people see you in school, it's like, something is happening here today, because this is not the normal way of life that they do dress. Okay, let's go to we've seen the choices. The reason why we make choices in clothing. Now, what are the vices that surrounds your choice?
Okay, the vices that surrounds the choice of dressing, clothes,
or clothing,
yes. The vices themselves should be the bad side of it.
Yes.
Now, if we used to use this saying that, not even a saying, it's a popular expression of whatever you wear tells the person. If you are wearing the clothes that is so exposed, like it shows off your body or your physique or your parts of your body, it shows that you're sending a message out there. Fine, a lot of persons wear things to contradict their personality.
Yes.
A lot of persons use to keep that because a lot of persons do it, and what stops me from doing it? But the individual who has influenced, they are so influenced by what people wear, and then they kind of project it again with their own self, and then it has a lot of bad meaning.
Yes.
The message is sending there. So if you are putting on clothes that are showing off your body, especially in the church, example like people who feel, okay, fine, that's certain. No, everybody have their reasons for going to different places.
Yes.
Like every event have their. A lot of person has this mindset of, okay, fine, I'm going to a particular place.
Yes.
What am I going there to do? What do I want to achieve? That's the question that comes to their mind before it now prompts into what they want to wear.
Yes.
If somebody who actually has this mindset of, fine, I'm going to a church program, and then I'm going to worship God. How do I present myself in the presence of God? Or am I going there to just show off my body? So those are the things that comes to their head. And once they now decide to now choose whatever they do, it's now what are they choosing? To not, the question now comes down to what are they really wearing? The kind of clothes they wear is actually very. Some of them actually decide to want to wear clothes which spell out bad reputation.
Yes.
Because this type of it doesn't end there, because once they wear it, people already tag them for what they are.
How it really affects their reputation and
so this person
image.
is used to wearing explosive clothes, show off body and that tight clothes like that, going to church. I guess what's in mind of everybody is person is there to show off.
I really had an experience of this vice, because when I was in the University of Jos, I mingle with students. Now on this day, I don't know the word just came over me that day. I just put on a crazy gym. As I get to my friends and they are just looking at me like I'm from another planet, I begin to feel irritated to myself that I begin to blame myself that why do I put on this clothes, because it's pains, as in the way they know me is now the clothes I put on, that they paint me, give me another paint, negative paint before them. I see as negative identity that so this guy I think is responsible. So I don't say that maybe people that wear it are not responsible, but I'm just saying what reflects in my own mind when as they were looking at me, I knew that something is their reaction, I know that they were something.
So it's a lot of vices surrounding this choice of clothes or dressing, because now people will wear these clothes to show off. There are a lot of reactions they create, or a reaction they get from people who see them. Now we've been having this recurrence of rape incidents like that, molestation, harassment like that. All of those things still boils down to the way the person appears. Because if somebody who has been caught in the act of rape, the first question they ask us, they'll ask the person the victim, or they has a victim as what were you putting on? These are things that speaks volume. It speaks volumes to the way you dress. Because if you're not watchful about it, a lot of people just see that that is how I want to dress and how I want to be. I feel comfortable at it. So they should actually watch it, because I think that's one of the vices. And the other aspect of it is, the way their mindset. Understand what is in their mind, what really comes them.
Really work on our mindset
exactly.
when it comes to
because
a
lot of things happen based on this is what I actually thought of before I took up this action. You understand? So we need to check our mindset. Be very mindful of what we think before we act or do them.
Okay. Do you think there is virtue in the choice of selecting?
Why not? Why do we have the godly wears? We have a lot of godly wears out there that, in fact, even this trend, this fashion, whatever freak, that a lot of persons still want to blend or follow through. That track they want to meet up, like, I want to look, the way I want to look at, I want to look very fine, very sexy, There's a way you do it. You don't do it moderately. You don't do it to make people feel bad or feel you don't have your right senses there. So there are virtues. We can dress modestly. We have people who dress formally. Look at example of people that go to their offices, who wear dressings, the doctors, the lawyers, a lot of them like that. Then even celebrities, I've seen some celebrities that dress very nice, but they're still celebrities. It doesn't stop them from their personality. So it depends on the individual. So how to lift up that aspect of good sense of dressing.
Yeah. So viewers at home, what we're trying to portray is that we should keep what is private. It should be what? It should be private, and we should be modest in whatsoever we're doing. What you put on speak volumes. Speak volumes about you. People don't need to come to you, know your names or know your professions or know who your background.
It's all you wear.
It's all you wear that they will use to do what? They will use to size you from beginning from head to toe. That even that our hairstyle at times speaks volumes. Our hairstyles at times speak volumes. So
everything.
Personality. Yes.
Physically.
Everything.
So it depends on how you be able to narrow this positively, because individuals individuals see that a lot of multiples of choices. It depends on the one you make decision at.
Yes.
So we should be very mindful of what we think and how we projected.
Because you might be a model to somebody else out there, so that you don't mislead them. And this is where we draw the curtain for this episode today. Do meet us next time, same station.
Bye.
Bye for now.